Hello everyone. Today's video, short video, is what do you do when you have a blowout in a shrimp tank, in a shrimp room? Woke up this morning to get ready to go to the doctor's appointment, get the injection in my neck, and this tank, not this tank, this is a new tank. Well, not new, but this tank had busted on the bottom along a seam and leaked out, leaving approximately 2 inches of water. When I got down here and was able to, jump in and stop it. So I lost all that. Oops, missed some. I lost, all the water that was in it. But here's the thing, that's why I keep my floor, I'm going to paint it. But, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but we're going to paint it. And that's the way it's going to stay with some, maybe some rubber mats. So when I'm working in tanks, it's good for your back. But I have, little carpet pieces in here. And due to that, the carpet pieces got wet, which is fine. But I also have a floor drain right there. So, no matter what happened, the water would have made it to the floor drain if it wasn't stopped by the carpet. A lot made it to the floor drain, but, I got, this was my tiger tank, my mix tank that I mixed my tigers with the orange eye orange. So to my knowledge and emptying the tank, pretty sure I got most of them. I was able to get, I think it was 16 adults, and then I'm not exactly sure how many babies I had gotten due to the fact that, I was in a hurry. I had to get to my doctor's appointment because I can't miss them. If I miss them, I get in trouble. So you can't miss a workman's comp doctor's appointment. So I did what I could do, got the shrimp out, and then I leaned the tank up on its end, and it wasn't leaking anymore. We went to the doctor's, and then the second part comes up. So the shrimp are out of the tank. Well, now what? Get another tank. Gotcha. But if, for everyone who follows me, my subscribers, people that know us here at Detroit, from day one, the problem I had was when I was getting all these tanks and stuff for free. A lot of them are marine lands, and they come with this really thinner. It's not as tall a plastic trim. It's shorter compared to an Aqueon. So I got OCD, and everybody thought it was funny today to laugh at me. That I wasn't going to be able to find another one of these, and I would have had to put it on the end in Aqueon over there. And then over time, I would have had to replace them all with Aqueon. So anyways, my buddy at the store said that he had one that he had a lizard in that he had just sold. He said, bring me your cracked or your leaky one, and I'll give you mine. So this is a 2019 tank. The tank I took him was a 2019 tank. It's a brand new tank. Brand new tank that started leaking at the bottom. I don't touch this tank. I don't move this tank. I don't do nothing with it. But this is the last one that I wanted to change the substrate in it. So guess what? We get to change the substrate in it. So I figured I'd show you guys how I do that. Starting from scratch, or starting brand new. Because here's the 15-gallon metal tank. Already all the shrimps are gotten out of it. I'm going to reuse that substrate. Here's the 15-gallon red pinto tank. I'm going to use that substrate. I have 4 more 10 gallons that are going over there. So right now I'll just show you how I set up a Caradina tank. So this is going to be a Caradina tank. Now the tigers out of here went in this tank over here that had they had shrimp in it, just to get poop and stuff in there. So I moved them over where they belong over here, and so I put the tigers in there. So now the tigers in our whole new tank. They don't have that disgusting substrate anymore. And while I was gone getting the tank, my wife went through all of everything, made sure there wasn't no more babies, because we let stuff sit for about 5 hours while we were gone. So all the babies are got out. We didn't lose any. We're good to go. So I'll show you, as you see, the filter's not on it, but it is in water. So I have it in a tank down here that's running, just to keep it wet. Probably isn't going to help that much, but we'll do what we can. So this is where we start. So I take a 5-gallon bucket. With the liquids, that's what I like about this, because liquids, the liquid GH, you don't have to remineralize her. It doesn't have to be exact. You can tweak it in. It's really, really easy to tweak it in. So here's my liquid GH remineralizer. I have the powder, but I don't care to use that right now. So take this bucket without, hopefully, not too bad. I already tested this tank. It does not leak, so I just scrubbed it up. Got any goo that was, on the inside of the tank off. Not that there'd really be anything bad, because there's just a lizard in there, but anything is bad when it comes to, the shrimp. So now you guys will see the cup that I use. I was telling you about. The dish, I should say, if I can find it. Everything's in disarray right now due to the leaky tank this morning. Let me see, what the heck did I do with that? Won't you let me? Well, okay. Well, anyways, hold on 1 second. I'll find it. 1 second. I would say I don't have to use it, but I want to use it because then all my stuff is exact all the time. So, please give me 1 second. So that's what I'm saying. I use it for substrate, so it shouldn't be far, but it might be covered up because of all the stuff I had to throw together and get it out of the way real quick, because it was soaked in here today. I think there's one over here. I found it. I get it. Got it. So here's a plastic, and this is 1 3/4 cup, but it's 14 full ounces to maybe a 1/4 inch below. So I go all the way to the top. So I would probably call that 2 cups. So I do 2 of those. Or 2.5. I have to see how it looks. But it's usually 2, maybe a little more. Oh, duh. It's already one in there. Well, that'll be the reason. So to scoop it down in there, shake it flat. I do it like this. Shake it flat and bring it up in here. Do 1 to the back. This one's a little shy, so I'll have to add more. I could stick the bucket or this little cup in there, but then it gets soaked. And I could just probably pour the rest of this in there, but there's no sense in adding substrate that you don't need. That's kind of the whole reason why I'm resetting all of my tanks is, because substrate that I don't need, and I'm taking extra out, and because it becomes very dirty and disgusting. Well, there's literally nothing left in here. I might as well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to mix it up with the other substrate that I just bought, so. All right, rinse that bad boy off. All right, so this is garbage now. This probably did 4, maybe seven tanks. It's the 18-pound bag. Measuring it out like this, doing it, having a way to do it, and deciding, well, this is kind of how I want to do it. This is all I need for the shrimp. So I just reach in, move it around. I don't even need to see it. You can feel it. Feels like there might be too much on it, but we'll push it toward the back. Because I can feel it's flat, but I don't know how deep it is in the back compared to the front. So, right. Alright, so if I would have put the substrate in first and then put the water in, it wouldn't be like this. But I don't care because I'm not putting anything in it right now. I mean, I could have done it so you could see it better, but next time. Now I just hope that I have enough water to finish all the other tanks, because I ran enough RO last night to finish the 4 10s that I'm adding over here. So hopefully, if not, I'll just run some more, or I'll finish it tomorrow. That's what Saturdays are for. So, okay. So this is how I get lucky, because my rack this one doesn't go as high as this one. I added the fort cell for storage. So I get a larger hose. And like I say, since nothing's going in this tank, then there's no, I can put it in at any speed I want. There's nothing that says I gotta go slow. But I just don't want to disturb the substrate really bad, so I'll put it in with the hose. Because you can make it 10 times worse than this. And you'll be there forever. So I lay it in there. Lay it flat across so it'll blow against the back glass. So now I can get the filter and see, his filter's dirty. I didn't squeeze it out. I didn't do anything. I just immediately pulled it out and stuck it in that tank, so I didn't lose any of the bacteria that was on it. So I'll take the end off that I had plugging it, so the rest of the system would run. Stick the hose back on it. Stick it in the tank, and we're up and running. So now, as I said, we're not putting shrimp in here right now, so you don't have to be so technical on how this is mixed. So this is how you can do it outside of do it a little simpler. So since this tank's going to have to sit, and it's going to have to build up bacteria and all the good stuff, I'm not super concerned about it being exactly where I want it. If it's a hair over, fine and dandy. Alright, so it takes a little over 5.5 milliliters to get it to 150. So I'll put 5.5 for that 5 gallons. And then the 5 gallons that's filling up there right now needs its own 5.5. So the filter will start to move all that salt, that the minerals I just put in there around, right? I ain't got to worry about stirring it. That's the good thing about liquid. What do I do with the stinking top? With it being liquid, I don't have to worry about if it all gets stirred up or not. So that's good with there. And then, since it's a brand new tank, I want to put my bacteria in there. My nitrifying bacteria. Now, you know, the filters, it hasn't been running, so I wouldn't like put $100 on it that it is still full. But a 10-gallon takes 20 milliliters of the nitrifying bacteria. So I just put the 10 in, because this one doesn't hold 20. So I get 10 more. Squirt that in there. All over the place. And then I rinse it off, fill it up, squirt it in there to get everything out of it. So now my GH Plus is put in there. So it'd be 11 milliliters per 10 gallons. My nutrifying bacteria is put in there, which is 20 milliliters per 10 gallons. It's double the amount of milliliters if you're setting a tank. If you're starting a brand new tank, then it's double the amount. If I'm doing a water change, the amount that I take out, I just put 1 milliliter of the nutrifying bacteria in the tank every water change, only in soft water tanks. Hard water tanks, Neo tanks, I put stability. It just helps with your beneficial bacteria. So, and then, even though there's no shrimp in there, I still put 1 drop of the immune booster, just so it can get within the sponges, substrate, stuff like that. It makes me feel better that I'm doing it, that's all. So, if I didn't have that sponge that was already ready, and wet, then I would have gotten a new one that we sell, and I would have had to cut it. I cut them in half, 3 inches. The only thing I leave a little longer is the air hose, so it sticks out like this does. I just mimicked this, but half. And then I would have stuck it in there. So, I guess there's no way to, there's nothing for me to say for you to be cautious or do anything different to stop this from happening to you, due to the fact that I don't touch the tanks. The tanks sit up here. I don't move them around. I haven't done anything to it, and it just chose to start leaking, and it's a brand new tank. Just keep in mind when you go to do tanks, and you're putting stuff up, to try to have some sort of plan or idea or something planned out in case it was to happen, what you would do or what you would need. Like, keep 3 or 4 garbage towels underneath your stand, in the stand. Have things close by just in case you have to soak it up in carpet. A shop vac if possible, stuff so it doesn't ruin your hardwood floors underneath your carpet or anything like that. It's always good That's why we chose to put the shrimp room here, the store here, instead of around the corner, because there's not a floor drain. The floor drain is here, which all the water would have had to go through these brand new walls that I built to reach this. So even though I have carpet pieces down here, it still went to the drain, even though 98% of it was stuck in the carpet. So I rolled the carpet up, I took it outside, now it's hanging up drying. It's 90 some degrees out. It's always good to have not an escape plan, but an emergency plan, because when I just watched LRB the other day, he made his video. I wasn't able to make a video of me cleaning this due to the fact that I had to do it and run out the door to go to the hospital. But his 240 broke. I had a 10-gallon break, so but it's in his garage, and he's on concrete. He's good to go. He got saved. It wasn't in his home. So the best thing to do if you can't put like your stand on a tray or something or anything, is have old towels present. Have them stuffed away, tucked away somewhere in a cabinet close by. End table, coffee table, something where if something happens to a tank, because guess what? It don't drip. It's a stream. When I came down here, this tank, well, no, it was this tank, because I slid this tank over one so I could dry the wood. This tank was filled up to the top of the rim right here, almost spilling over. And it was even wet down here, so the fan's been running for since 12 o'clock, and it's 8 o'clock now, so 8 hours. And everything's dry. And if the worst of the worst happened, I would have to change this piece of plywood, and it cost $2.80 at Home Depot, or I'd just go out in my garage and cut me a piece and put it right on here. That's it. It's, so all I'm saying is take into consideration what you're doing, and know that if you have an emergency, having some sort of plan for an accident will save you all the time in the world. I mean, it'll really, it could save you thousands of dollars being prepared for a cleanup than going, oh my gosh, what do I do? Even if you got to have like puppy pads that soak up urine, anything that you could put down to start soaking up water, anything. So this tank, since it's a Carradina tank, it had Christmas moss in it. But what I'm now, some of them, they're just so nice. The mosses look really good. Okay, they grow really good. But I don't know. Just for some reason, I want all my Neo-Carradina tanks to have the mosses, and I want the Carradina tanks, the soft water, to just have Siswacitan in it, because it grows in both waters, but I think it thrives more in softer water. I have it in both tanks. I've had it grow really big, but I think it grows faster in softer water. So I want to do all my soft water tanks in Siswacitan and Boost, and I'm going to do the bottom tanks in like Christmas moss and the other mosses I have, and also Boost. But small amounts of moss, like size of a golf ball, and Boost, and then like I have my hookerus or my hooker moss in my tanks. I have all sorts of stuff, but I just think that's something that everybody should do, is get small amounts of cool things, let them start to grow, and then propagate and go tank to tank to tank to tank with them. It'll save you so much money down the road than going out and buying enough for every tank. That's why if people come to me and say they want moss, I sell them enough to where, that's why I ask, well, how many tanks do you want? I don't ask how much you want to spend. It's how many tanks do you want? Because if I send you a ball like this, you can snap off so many pieces going so many tanks, and in 6 months you're going to have double to triple, if your lights are good. And you don't need super strong lights. It just grows really fast. So But anyway, so this is gonna get some Wasatan. I got it down there. I have actually extra in that tank. It's gonna go in that tank, and then I have 4 more tanks that I'm putting in. So it's gonna go in those 4 also. Um, but I just wanted to show you guys that accidents happen. It's not the end of the world. It does ruin a part of your day, but always one tip. If I can give you one tip, 2 tips, maybe 3 tips. Have the towels. If you can't do a ton of towels, have some towels and have soaking pads. Like animal pet pads. Pee pads. Those. If you can, for some reason, have a shop vac, a small one. Get a small one. They got them on Facebook everywhere, Marketplace, Craigslist, everything. Get a little 2-gallon. Because I'll tell you right now, if you could suck that stuff out of carpet or off your tile, because water gets under your tile, it'll ruin it. I'm telling you, I do it for a living. It can ruin tile. If water gets through your wall and all up under there, it can cause a lot of mold issues and everything. So have a vacuum that you can suck it all out, put a fan on it immediately. Yeah, so there. You want towels, soak pads, a shop vac of some sort that can do water. And a fan, a strong fan. It could be a box fan from the dollar store. They work just fine. I've been running it all day, even though I have even stronger ones. But that one's worked just fine. And then last, if not least, an extra tank. Have it, no matter what. Stick it in a closet. Put clothes in it or something. The winter clothes in the summertime. Anything. Use it for storage of soft stuff until maybe one day you need a tank. Because if you do not have a tank and your tank leaks, what are you going to do with all the stuff that's in the tank? Now me, having Caradina, it had water in it still. And I was able to put them in the catch cup, and I could have kept them in that. I have more Caradina tanks, but let's say you don't. You can at least keep it in there and then start the new tank, add more in there, put a lot of bacteria in there, give them little water changes every once in a while in that catch cup, barely feed them, and get that new tank up and running as fast as you can. And if you gotta, make more water, do water changes, whatever, pour that into a larger container, then a larger container, just keep them, from dying. And then it's not hard. I mean, they don't have to be in a 10-gallon tank. You just have to watch the water in a small container. But have an extra tank on hand. Those are some tips that I'd like to pass on. So if that helps you, if it gives you an idea of the future and what you should look out for, to make sure that if you do have an accident, you're able to cover yourself. So, because you're going to freak out, and then you're going to be like, oh my God, what do I do? And then you're going to be, the biggest thing is you're going to worry about what's in the tank and if it's died. Or what am I going to do with it? And you're looking around, what do I put it in? And if you don't have anything extra to put it in, then it'll be a little harder. But, tanks at Petco are $1 a gallon, so they're $1. They're $10. And you can get them online for, a used, even a 5-gallon tank, for like $3, $5 or something. So just a little some tips to give you guys and to show you that, it just doesn't happen to people with one tank. I do get hand-me-down tanks that I use, and none of those are leakers. Like I said, the tank that just leaked was a brand new 2019 tank, so it wasn't but a few months old, and it busted a seal and leaked. But all these tanks that you get at Petco, Aqueons, everything, they're $1 a gallon. You can't expect them to be, you want them to last forever, but sometimes they won't. So, just a little word of advice: prepare yourself. It's doomsday of a fish tank. So just prepare yourself, and you'll be okay. Just have stuff to cover yourself so you can keep your animals alive. That's it. Bubbler, you already got the filter. If you got to take the tank down and put your little container up there and run air into it, you got everything. You should have, your air pump, not no change. So, okay, everybody, thank you very much. Losing Archer the other day at jumping out, and now this. They say bad things come in 3, so I'll keep my eyes open. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Talk to you soon and stay shippy.